At the time of this video, the Dragon Ball Super anime has been on a hiatus for nearly 4.5 years. Episode 131 marked the finale of the main Dragon Ball Super anime, and up until now, the only things keeping the series going have been 2 highly received movies, a spin-off promotional anime, and the currently ongoing manga that is about to begin a brand new story arc within the next few months. But even with all that content, everybody in the Dragon Ball community has been clamoring for the second season of Dragon Ball Super ever since episode 131 came to a close. We've all sat patiently and waited for a trailer or even an announcement of the anime's return, and we've all jumped in joy over any rumor hinting that more episodes were being made. But here we are now, still waiting. But over the past few weeks, there's some very exciting information passed down from highly credible sources. The idea of Dragon Ball Super coming back is more possible than ever, and it's likely that we'll even see an official announcement any day now. So with that in mind, I figured it would be fun to go over what we do know about the future of the Dragon Ball anime, and as we go along, I want to share my own wish list of how I want the new anime to be portrayed. I'm going to touch on all things relating to story arcs, movies, TV specials, key animators, character designs, production aspects, and even things relating to the community itself. So I'd love it if you guys shared your own wish lists down in the comments below, because I myself was inspired to put this together after watching Geekdom 101's wish list a few weeks ago. So I want to see you guys make your own too, and then while you're at it, click that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so I can continue to make more videos like this, because I really do enjoy making these kinds of videos for you guys. Regardless, let's just get right into things. So, starting things off, the first thing I want to see from the new season of Dragon Ball Super, and I'm sure just about everybody can agree with me on this because Geekdom 101 has it on his list too, I want there to be a longer pre-production schedule, so then we can avoid poorly animated episodes like what we saw back in 2015. As we all know, Dragon Ball Super's first few episodes looked abysmal in terms of animation because of how rushed production was on the show, and unfortunately, that rushed scheduling reflected in the show's quality. I don't want that to happen again. There has been talk about Dragon Ball Super returning for several years now, but we haven't seen or heard anything about it because the production of new episodes has been delayed for several different reasons. Regardless of how or why the show has been delayed, we know that Toei has had DBS on its radar for quite some time now, and I want the quality of these new episodes to reflect the amount of time that the production staff has had to plan things out. The manga has had enough time to pump out enough content that the anime could take its time with, so I want there to be a lot more care put into the new anime's production time. Thankfully, we know that Toei is planning on making a new Dragon Ball movie in a few years, so that's a good sign that they've learned from their mistakes and are planning things out in advance. Granted, that is a movie, and there's a lot more thought put into movies compared to weekly TV shows, but I want that same type of care put into the show where they plan it out and don't wing it. Next up, I want to talk about how I want the show to look, which is a huge factor in making or breaking the show for a lot of people. I don't want Tadayoshi Yamamuro to return as the character designer. I think he did fine enough on the first 131 episodes of DBS, but I'd rather him stick to Dragon Ball Heroes and possibly return as a key animator here and there. What I want is I want this new season of the show to be separated by a new identity. An identity that we didn't really get to see much of outside of a single movie. I want Now Hero Shintani to be the main character designer, and I know there's a ton of you who might agree with me, and there's a ton of you who might want me to move on from Shintani's style, but he's honestly the only person I want to see take over as character designer. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Chikashi Kubota's contributions to Dragon Ball Super Superhero, but I just love Shintani's style a bit more, and it's such a unique style that I want to see return in a weekly format. But even though I want Shintani as the main character designer, I'd still love to see Kubota contribute to episodes and be a key animator alongside a few other names like Naotoshi Shida, Miyako Tsuji, Yuya Takahashi, and countless others that can make DBS look absolutely breathtaking. Moving on from that, I think it's time that we tackle the elephant in the room and talk about whether or not I want DBS to adapt the Broly and superhero movies. If I had it my way, I'd say no. Because if I had it my way back in 2015, I wouldn't have wanted DBS to adapt the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F movies either, but the show ended up doing it anyway. The first few episodes of DBS dragged on for those first few weeks by retelling movies in worse ways, and I wouldn't want this new anime to do the same for Broly and Superhero because they both looked amazing. I'd rather they just stay canon and the new anime starts with Moro or something original. But if DBS ends up adapting both of those movies, I'd want them to have a reason to do so, and I'd only want them to spend like 10 or so episodes on each movie. With DBS Broly, for example, I know that Toriyama originally wrote a 3-hour-long script that had to be cut down, so a lot of material was left out of the finished product. If this new anime were to readapt the Broly movie, I'd want that entire 3-hour-long script to be used, and even expanded upon through some new ideas. It would be really cool if we got to see Gogeta transform into a Super Saiyan God when fighting Broly, and then we spend an episode or so seeing Gogeta in that form before he goes Super Saiyan Blue. Scenarios like that would make me want to see those movies get readapted into the anime, and like I said, if they could make these adaptations meaningful and keep them about 10 or so episodes so they don't drag on for forever, I think it would be fine to start things off with Broly and Superhero before moving on to story arcs like Moro and Granola. And speaking of Moro and Granola, those two story arcs need to be adapted into this new anime. I know a lot of you are wondering why I even need to bring this up, but you'd be surprised at how many people want the anime to just skip over both of those story arcs for some reason. I don't want either of these two story arcs to remain exclusive to the manga, and I don't want the next story arc after Granola to be manga exclusive either. I want this new anime to adapt anything and everything Dragon Ball has to offer, nothing gets left out or forgotten. I don't even care if the new anime places Moro and Granola after the events of Superhero, I just want these arcs adapted to match the timeline of the anime. If these stories take place after Superhero, I'd love to see all the new techniques that Gohan and Piccolo unlocked in Superhero, because that would just make things a lot more surprising and interesting. In fact, that's how I want the Moro and Granola arcs to be. I want them to be surprising and interesting. I don't see the anime adapting the events of the manga to a 100% perfect degree because of how different the manga is from the anime in terms of continuity. I'd love to see the anime tackle similar storylines and plot elements, but throw in a few surprises and twists here and there that differentiates itself from the manga, similar to how events from the Goku Black arc in the manga are different from the anime. On top of making things slightly different, I'd love to see certain plot elements from the manga get expanded upon, and I'd love to see more characters get developed. This new DBS anime could give us a lot of character development for people like Granola, Granola's mom, the Heaters, the Grand Supreme Kai, and any of those prisoners that Moro sets free. I'd love to learn more about them that we didn't get to see in the manga. But moving on, let's talk about some other stories that I'd love to see get tackled in this new DBS anime. I know Geekdom 101 mentioned a Jocko the Galactic Patrolman TV special in his wish list where he wants to see a TV special adapting the Jocko manga, and I 100% agree with him. I'd love for material like that to be adapted into OVAs or TV specials because, like I said, I want Dragon Ball to eventually animate everything it has to offer. I 100% want to see the Jocko manga be adapted, I want to see them tackle that time I got reincarnated as Yamcha, and I'd even want them to do older material like Nico Majin Z. Maybe if they could even do filler episodes focusing on Android 21 or flashbacks to when her human counterpart, Vomi, was married to Dr. Gero and they had their kid together. Stuff like that would be super fun to see. And it might be a crazy thing to include on my wish list, and it probably won't even happen, but hey, I can dream, can't I? But you know what I really want most out of this new Dragon Ball Super anime? I want entirely new and original material where nobody knows what's gonna happen, so it makes each story arc more surprising and exciting. Could Goku die against this new bad guy? Could Vegeta finally defeat a villain? Does Piccolo become the main hero of a story arc? Do Goku and Vegeta finally visit planet Sadala? I want new and original stories like that to take place, and to go alongside that idea, I want Dragon Ball Super to finally go past the end of Dragon Ball Z. DBS has been stuck in the 10-year gap between the defeat of Majin Buu and the 28th Tenkaichi Budokai, and with each new story arc, we're slowly approaching the fated meetup between Goku and Oob. But because we're stuck in that time skip, we already know where all the characters end up, and we know how their stories end. So I want this new anime to do what Dragon Ball GT did, and actually go past the end of Z, so it can tell stories without restriction. With the release of DBS Superhero, we are super duper close to the end of Z, so if they end up adapting Broly, Superhero, and both the Moro and Granola arcs, That's enough time for them to stay in this time skip, but I want them to quickly get past the end of Z as fast as possible. And if that happens, a lot of Dragon Ball fans will be extremely happy, and we all know life is good when Dragon Ball fans are happy. And that actually brings me to the last thing I have on my wish list, which is I want the Dragon Ball community to be restored to its prime once again. Which sounds like a weird request, but it's something that I want to see happen. If you were around for when Dragon Ball Super was first airing, you remember all the fun times we had as a community discussing each new episode and theorizing what was going to happen next. Each and every week this community had something new to discuss, things to disagree about, and things to get hype about. We all looked forward to our favorite content creators reviewing each episode, and we couldn't help but get excited each time that opening of an episode played. If you think Dragon Ball has a lot of content right now, and you think this community is active right now, you don't even know what it's going to be like when weekly episodes start airing again. I, for one, absolutely cannot wait for that moment when we can all tune into Crunchyroll, crash their website, and talk about new episodes as a community again. So with that being said, those are some things I want to see with the new Dragon Ball Super anime whenever it comes back. Do you have your own wish list of story arcs, key animators, and things you want to see from this new show? Post it down in the comments below and let's have a discussion. I'd love to hear all your ideas, so please comment, and while you're at it, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button to help push this video into YouTube's algorithm. The more likes this video has, the more likely it is that other Dragon Ball fans will also see this video. Plus, it gives me an idea of how much you enjoyed today's content. While you're at it, click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications by clicking that bell icon. That way, you'll be able to see whenever I upload a new video. If you're a fan of all things Dragon Ball, you'll definitely want to stick around because I make a ton of content ranging from reviews, discussions, speculation videos, and so much more. As always though, thank you all so much for watching today's video, I hope you enjoyed. Until my next video, I'll be seeing all of you Dragon Ball fans later. See ya!